iOS 19, the biggest change in a decade. Apple's mobile environment is anticipated to undergo the biggest changes in over a decade with iOS 19. With improvements in multitasking, privacy, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence, iOS 19 has the potential to completely change how we use our Macs, iPhones, and iPads. In this video, we will go through 7 of the biggest anticipated updates that could revolutionize the iOS experience. Number 7. Apple Intelligence. The AI revolution in iOS 19 goes beyond frivolous picture producers and chatbot functionality. A brand new artificial intelligence framework known as Apple Intelligence is allegedly being developed by Apple and will be integrated into all operating system layers. With the use of secure cloud processing and on-device neural engines, this approach could produce the first mobile operating system that is really contextual. Imagine that, depending on your location, activities, and even physiological condition, your iPhone can not only understand what you're asking, but also why. Beyond just voice recognition, Siri is evolving into an anticipatory interface that can manage intricate, multi-domain queries such as find the presentation I was working on yesterday, pull the sales figures from the last quarter, and schedule a meeting with the marketing team to discuss it next week. The AI will be extended to creative tools with capabilities like semantic photo editing, which will allow you to tell the system to make the sunset more dramatic or remove the tourist walking behind us, and have it comprehend spatial relationships and aesthetic purpose. A new secure enclave architecture for cloud-based AI tasks that preserves end-to-end encryption even during machine learning operations is a key component of Apple's privacy-first strategy, which ensures that the majority of processing takes place on device. Number 6. Home Screen Revolution. Since 2007, the iOS home screen has stayed essentially the same, but iOS 19 might drastically reimagine this essential user interface. In contrast to a flat grid, early patent filings propose a dynamic spatial computing environment with app icons and widgets arranged in 3-dimensional layers. This would enable depth effects in which apps that are used more often seem to float forward, while those that are used less frequently appear to retreat. With physics-based organization, the rumored free-form layout engine would finally enable truly arbitrary icon placement. You could group social media in one corner and work apps in another, with the system cleverly handling negative space. Spatial memory models may be used by the new app drawer to remember where you often find specific programs depending on your usage habits. Widgets may develop into live tiles that display information in real time without even requiring a tap. For example, your fitness widget may animate to display your progress towards daily objectives, or your calendar widget may pulse subtly when a meeting is about to begin. With its seamless transitional animations that preserve spatial awareness, the contextual home screen, which automatically reorganizes according to time, location, or activity, may be the most revolutionary feature. It displays your morning routine apps when you wake up, work tools during business hours, and entertainment options in the evening. Number 5. Professional multitasking. The ability of iOS 19 to multitask may finally close the productivity gap between desktop and mobile devices. A novel method of managing windows on small displays may be introduced with the new Pro multitasking system. Consider a focus stack system in place of split view, where programs intelligently stack according to priority. For example, your messaging app may grow when you receive an important message and contract to a compact bubble during busy work sessions. Deep linkage across apps may be possible with the rumored app pairing engine. For example, when working in Numbers, pertinent emails or Slack discussions may be immediately displayed in a pane that is adjacent. True parallel execution will significantly increase background processing, enabling apps to carry out intricate tasks like data analysis or video rendering while you continue working. The most intriguing prospect is continuity multitasking, which would enable apps to move across devices while preserving data and functionality. This would allow your iPhone to effortlessly connect with a nearby Mac or iPad. By doing this, your iPhone would essentially become the focal point of a distributed computing system. Number 4. RCS and the future of cross-platform communication. Apple's use of RCS in iOS 19 signifies an intentional change in communication strategy rather than merely catching up to Android. Rich media sharing that preserves quality across platforms will be made possible by the sophisticated RCS protocol, which will offer lossless audio messaging, software, high-resolution photos up to 100 MP, and even early support for 3D object sharing. The smart fallback feature of the new system may automatically select the optimal transport protocol depending on network conditions, perhaps using universal reactions that translate between platforms or cross-platform FaceTime links that let Android users join calls via a web interface. Apple might incorporate RCS while preserving the premium feel of iMessage. In addition, the upgrade might bring additional privacy capabilities like cross-platform end-to-end encrypted group chats, which would raise the bar for safe mobile communication. Fixing green bubbles is only one aspect of this. Another is developing a new paradigm for universal messaging that may ultimately dismantle the barriers separating mobile ecosystems. Number 3. Always on display as an ambient computing interface. The next version of Always on Display in iOS 19 could expand from a simple notification viewer to a comprehensive ambient computing interface. An active matrix display that can display moving visuals and interactive components without substantially reducing battery life may be made possible by Apple's development into low-power micro-LED technology. Consider an AOD that displays your forthcoming calendar events as a flowing timeline, real-time weather animations, or even a tiny replica of your Apple Watch activity rings. Depending on your schedule, the contextual glance system may utilize AI to decide what information to display. For example, it might display your morning travel time when you first answer the phone, then change to work alerts as the day goes on. The most innovative feature may be touchless interaction, which allows users to control playback or dismiss notifications with delicate hand gestures close to the phone identified by the updated Face ID array without ever touching the screen. By doing this, the lock screen would change from a passive information panel to a context-aware, always available interface that knows what you need before you open the smartphone. Number 2. Computational photography enters the AI era. The camera system in iOS 19 has the potential to completely alter our perception of mobile photography, not only enhance images. Before synthesizing the final image, the new neural camera architecture could process images in numerous concurrent computational pipelines, independently analyzing scenes for motion, color, texture, and depth. This would make it possible to use functions like multi-moment capture, in which you can select the ideal moment in retrospect by having the camera continuously buffer pictures before you ever hit the shutter. The AI photonic engine may be able to look beyond the physical constraints of the sensor by using machine learning to restore lost detail in highlights and shadows at the photon level. With features like automated focus pulling between topics, cinematic compute may provide videographers with real-time depth mapping and subject tracking that can compete with professional cinema cameras. The semantic editing feature, which allows you to ask the Photos app to move that tree slightly to the left or make the group stand closer together, may be the most groundbreaking. The AI will recognize the spatial relationships and realistically recompose the image. Number 1. Spatial interface revolution. The redesign of iOS 19 may bring about a completely new paradigm for spatial interfaces, going beyond simple aesthetic adjustments. The new fluid design system may provide the iOS interface dimension, physics, and materiality, drawing inspiration from Apple's Vision OS development. With parallax effects that react to device movement, icons may seem to float at various layers. By constantly adjusting interface colors according to lighting conditions and the time of day, the adaptive chroma system could lessen eye strain while preserving visual hierarchy. Variable context fonts will bring significant changes to typography by automatically adjusting spacing and weight according to the significance of the material. Most importantly, the new spatial interaction model may incorporate modest 3D touch-like feedback across the interface. The tactile responses will change according to how deep the element you are interacting with is. Digital interfaces would feel more substantial and natural than ever before, as this would not only be a visual update, but also a fundamental rethinking of how we physically interact with our devices. These modifications would represent a significant advancement in Apple software, perhaps making iOS more powerful, intelligent, and networked than ever. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.